Anton Andreev is associate professor on Japanese linguistics in Sofia University, St. Clement Ohridski. He has been head of the Department of East Asian Languages and Cultures at the Faculty of Classical and Modern Philology of the university. He works in the fields of Japanese applied linguistics, phonetics, phonology, sociolinguistics.
First, I need to say that now I just happen to live in Japan and to teach at Toyo University, which is one of the oldest and the biggest private institutions of higher education in Tokyo. It just happened that I joined the team at their Center of International Education when the pandemic started. So I totally agree with that. It's a very adverse situation. It's something that is totally negative, but it's also a challenge. And this is how the Japanese approach it. This is how my team at Toyo approached it. After all, you have a situation with certain parameters. Just imagining that you're some kind of, I don't know, just let's imagine that you lost some of the tools of your trade. They're not there anymore. So you have to do something. You have to make new tools. You have to find a way to go without them, or just to change to something else. But if you are into higher education, it's not very likely that you're going to change your trade to something else. So you have to optimize what you're doing with the tools that you have at your disposal, which is online education. Yes, online education is kind of sad. You keep seeing people posting things like, I miss my students on the social networks. I totally believe them. But you can't meet your students in these circumstances, right? Because of the pandemic. So you have to find a way to teach them, even if you have to teach them a language and do it online. So this is what has been, what is being done at my university. They have reviewed the system that they already had. It was a good static system called Manaba, which is shared by many Japanese universities. But of course, if you need to work online, you have to have some medium that works online. Like, for example, Cisco WebEx that they employed. Of course, there are other universities that have employed other systems. And when you start working online, you see what can be done online with the tools that you already have. And for what you need, new tools. You also find out that actually you have some tools at your disposal that you haven't been using so much, like student portfolios. Student portfolios are something that will become more and more important because they give you the chance to have your students at a glance. You can see what they have achieved in other courses, how they are progressing, even if they have taken some exams and they have some marks outside the university, you can check it too, which is a very good and important thing. So this is not something particular to Toyo or to Ibaraki, another university that I have been teaching for. I can see that it is also being done at Sofia University, which is considering new media beside Moodle, which is the main one. And I think it's a very good idea. Of course, it also has to do with budget because these platforms are not for free. I mean, not entirely, and not for such big institutions. But once you have relaxed and analyzed your situation, you can see that first of all, you have most of your tools still at your disposal, and you can develop or buy new tools. And you can also learn new skills. And even more, you can access students that you didn't think you could. And a very good example is the online course in business Japanese, which prepares for free students around the world for the business Japanese test, which interestingly enough is becoming more and more popular, even now when it doesn't seem very likely that you can just go to Japan and start working there. But people who are interested in working in Japan seem to increase for some reason. I don't know why is that. I will leave that to sociologists. But anyway, the point is that our team could reach a very large number of students. We had more than 20,000 separate applications. It's a course which consists of 20 lectures, of course. I have to make this clear, but still it's an impressive number. So, especially when it comes to private institutions, which are not afraid to talk about markets, because education is a market. You just find out that your market has increased enormously. Yes, you might say that it's not the same education, but it is education. It's true that students are not satisfied with some of the points in this education, but there are also students who wouldn't be able to receive this education, and they can do it online. So what was described by Professor Ditchev like a chaos? It is a chaos. It is an adverse situation, but it's also a chance to reconsider what higher education is about and maybe find ways to improve it. I myself really hope that we'll go back soon to the traditional type of classroom education, but we don't forget what we have learned this year. This was from me. Thank you.